Shotgunners know about duck guns. Now, this magazine is probably not legal for duck hunting. However, Genesis Arms does have. But there are other flying threats that need to be taken care of these days that a little handy shotgun that can fire rapidly is pretty handy for. To keep your skies clear, we're talking about the Genesis Arms Gen-12 SSBM coming up next on Shotgun hunting is not something I've ever participated in, and this has a duck hunting camo on it, and I'm sure some of you hunters are looking at that 10-inch barrel and thinking it's not a duck gun. This is a limited 3-round magazine, but Genesis Arms is aware of other threats from the sky, actual threats from the sky that you might want to take out with a 12 gauge. So with all semi-auto shotguns, especially something like this, you want to know what it'll run. A lot of semi-auto shotguns get cut up on different hole type materials, even the overall loaded length. If you take any 5 brands of 2 3/4 inch shells, you'll notice they're not all the same length. High brass, low brass, hole material, ribbed holes versus non, that can all play a role. So it wouldn't be GBGuns video without a what's for dinner test. We're going to start off with some Remington game loads, 7.5, 1920 feet per second. And as with all my stuff, if you want to know specs, pricing, availability about the firearm, or the ammo used, check the pinned comment over on my websites where all that will be there. So we're gonna run 3 rounds through a bunch of different loads, see if we can choke the Gen-12 SSBM. Starting with that Remington load, 3 quick rounds. No issues, and it locked open. I'd say recoil on that load was a little stout for birdshot, but not terrible. Now some Winchester Super Sport. This has the low brass, but a very slick hull. 7.5, 1800 feet per second. So recall, shoot, I've already forgotten, but don't worry, it'll be in the pinned comment. See if it runs. Very smooth, little smoky, but it runs. Here's an interesting one. Federal Top Gun, number 8s, ounce and an eighth, only 1145 feet per second, and a very, very low brass. This is either gonna choke the gun or be super fun. A little bit of a trigger flip on my fault, but no issues, gun locked open. Another super light one, and I have changed back to just an improved cylinder choke. It came with a modified on there, and I don't, well, as we go into what's for dinner, since I'm not a professional shotgunner, I don't want to push the limits on what can run through the choke. So improved cylinder is about as open as it gets, safe for slugs, etc. This is a State, 1180 feet per second, 1 ounce, very low brass. It appears like it might even be aluminum. Super cheap stuff. Will run. Yes, it does, and it locked open. So we've gone through some pretty lightweight stuff that usually chokes semi-autos. It's running in the Gen-12. That shows that it can run soft loads easily enough. Birdshot, of course, is great for flying objects. But what about the non-flying objects or the operators of those flying objects? That's where stuff like double buck comes in. This is some cellular bullet. They didn't bother to give us velocity, so who knows what kind of velocity we're getting out of this. But this will be a demonstration of the recoil on this. Now, this is a braced pistol. These braces are not ideal for this type of thing, so I'm making a sacrifice for science. Please enjoy. Oh, that was completely unexpected. It's almost like the higher recoiling the load is supposed to be, the softer this gun shoots. You guys tell me what you saw, but it felt to me like this was just a smoky 22. That was ridiculously easy. All right, so being dumb and bold, and plus I drove 90 minutes out here with my dad who's running the camera. Everyone say thanks, Dad. With a buckshot shooting softer than some of that bird shot, I'm gonna try a slug. I took the choke out, so no risks there. This is an ounce and an eighth slug. And as you guys saw, a nice tall brass for science. Yeah, that was just as soft. That was softer than some of the bird shot. All right, I'm gonna keep digging in the what's for dinner kit, see if I can find something nastier, because that was easy. And those of you tactically minded or defensively minded, think that was just 3 1 1/8 ounce slugs that I fired with great control, probably quicker than I would a regular AR-15, throwing a whole lot more lead. All right, with my shoulder still laughing at me, calling me a sissy, I'm gonna step it up even more. I've got some number 5 ounce and 3/8 pheasant load. This is 1,250 feet per second. Should be some pretty hot stuff. Again, no choke, just because I'm not a choke guy or shotgun guy. This lets you do it. Those of you that know chokes, yes, you can run them. Since I don't know them, I'm not gonna experiment and risk blowing this up while I'm out here. So, all right, pheasant load, ounce and 3/8, 1,250. Okay, that one had some recoil, but it still wasn't bad, and I was still able to really run it quick without any rise. Man, this thing's awesome. I don't know what else to show you guys. I ran a bunch of ammo that normally a semi-auto gun wouldn't want to run, and it ate it. Then I ran some high recoil stuff to show that maybe it would hurt, and it actually shot softer. So, I mean, what does this not do? I think Genesis Arms and followers of the channel know that I've been following Genesis Arms for at least 6 years now. Got some of, actually the first video ever on the Genesis Arms Gen-12 was right here on GBGuns. They've advanced a lot. That new recoil reduction system that my older versions didn't have seems almost like it's fueled by the recoil. Like the heavier the load is, the softer the gun shoots, which is pretty stinking awesome. And it does what not many other 12 gauges can do. You saw the speed that I ran this thing with before. It's portable, not the lightest weight because it's based on an AR-10, but some weight is worth holding, you know. Incredible system, now able to take Remington pattern chokes for all aerial targets. I guess that's probably the best way to say that, all aerial targets. Compact, easy handling, runs just like an AR. If you can control an AR, you can control one of these. And the recoil, I'd argue, is softer than some of the ARs out there. It's a pretty amazing device, I guess, because this is technically a pistol, not a shotgun. But yeah, for more information, specs, where to find one of these, all that kind of stuff, check the pinned comment. As always, the full review is over on my website. Shh, I'm not allowed to say it out loud on YouTube. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
GBGuns and I do 2 level. Andrew P. Joseph T. Randy A.A.L.G. Peter and Tom. Moises S. Fast Eddie. Tyler 215. Brian P. Sky King Derek S. Jr. Donald H. Thanks for the tip level. David P. Kratos, the God Slayer. Andrew B. Lee H. Christopher J.J.S. Farrell and Crime Fawns. Jeff O. Michael W. David G. OK Tuba. Fred L. Robert B. Ohio Cruffler Steve A. Briscoe County Junior H. Richard Redsky. Wyatt T. Tilson Mystics. Uncle Mumsy. David F. Allen B. Laura P. Andrew C. Keeping things on this level. Gary B. Life S. Daniel D.S.A. J.J. Adam J. Brad M. George H. Afternoon Cody. W. Marcus O. Harder. Lewis R. P. Logan G. Brian K. RBMD 2022 AQB.